Hello there! Today we are going to talk about another question that I get asked a lot, and that is, well, what's the best type of Facebook ad to run, Julia? And allied to that, I get, well, what's the best way to start running Facebook ads? So I'll address these both because they really come into one umbrella answer. So what's the best type of Facebook ad to run? I'm sorry, this makes me send a question straight back to you, and that is, well, what is it that you want to achieve? You will know from the previous videos that you've been watching that when you choose a type of ad within Facebook, Facebook is inherently trying to actually optimize the results for you. So if you say to Facebook that as a result of running this ad, you really want to get lots of people viewing your video, then Facebook will show your ad to people who are more likely to watch videos on Facebook than the rest of the audience that you might have selected. If you say to Facebook that you really want to run an ad optimized for getting people to click through to your website, then Facebook will show your ad to people who are more likely to click links on Facebook than to the rest of the people in your audience, first of all. So they will be optimizing the results of your ads for you. So really, what is the best type of Facebook ad to run in terms of objective, which is the first question that you get asked in the Ads Manager? In terms of objective, then it's really got to be answering the question, well, what is it that you want to achieve? So maybe you want people to watch your video. Maybe you want people to click through to a landing page or your website. Maybe you just want to get lots of people responding to a post that you put out there. Maybe you want to reach the maximum amount of people, or maybe you want to promote an event that you've actually set up within Facebook, for example. These are all objectives that Facebook will allow you to reach using Facebook ads. And the key here is to actually be honest. So if you set up an ad, say, that has got a video within the ad, but it also includes, the text includes a link to a website, and maybe there's a call to action button within the ad. Don't worry about that if you don't know what it is, but there's a call to action button. It's something that Facebook gives you can add to your ad that says learn more, and that takes them through to the website. So you've got two elements to your ad. You've got a video within the content, and you've got a website link and maybe a call to action button that also takes them to the website. Then if you choose the objective within Facebook of video views, then that ad is going to get shown to people who tend to watch videos on Facebook and not to people who tend to click links on Facebook. So if you actually really wanted people to view the video but really wanted them to click the link and go through to your website, then the objective that you need to choose for that ad in general, of course there will always be exceptions, would be the objective for getting clicks to your website, or traffic as Facebook likes to call it. So don't try and trick Facebook by asking for an objective that isn't actually what you want to achieve, because it will normally work against you. As I said, there are always outliers and there are always exceptions to these generalizations, but if you haven't started off running ads yet, then my best suggestion is to go with the objective that matches what you want to achieve. Now, if you've not set up an ad ever before, then even thinking about things like, well, the content of the ad and the format of the ad, well, that they can both be really overwhelming, because when you start going through Ads Manager, if you're not going to be using a post that you've already created on your page as the basis for an ad, if you're creating a new ad within Ads Manager, you get the option to upload lots of photos, say, or make a little screen show, a slideshow based on some images that you've got, or you've got carousel ads that suddenly pop up out of nowhere and you're thinking, oh my gosh, what on earth, what do I choose? What format is going to work best for me? what I would say is, if you've never run Facebook ads before using the Ads Manager, then start off doing something very simple. Set up an ad using a single image with no text in it, and use some text within the body of the ad to share something that's valuable to your audience. Whatever business you're in and whatever sector you're in, you've got a ton of expertise up here. And one thing that's going to be really valuable to your audience and is going to raise your visibility and let them know what you're about, that you're an expert in what you do and how you help people, is by sharing 2 or 3 ads that simply share value. So take the pressure off yourself that you've got to produce a perfect ad that sells things and brings in all these results, or takes people to a website where you only pay X amount of pence or whatever for your website click. Take all that pressure away from yourself while you're getting used to the platform. Think of a way that you could really share value to your audience. So say an ideal customer or client is sitting opposite you having coffee, and they ask you, well, what's the number one thing that you could tell me that's going to help me with X? And that's related, of course, to whatever your business is about. So answer that question as if you were talking to a friend over coffee. Encapsulate that in 2 or 3 paragraphs maximum with an image, and use that to create your very first ad. Another thing I would suggest doing would be to make sure that the image you're going to use is in a location where you absolutely can easily find it when you're setting up the ad. And create the text or the copy that you're going to use in Word or in Google Docs or in Notes, so that you can literally copy and paste it into the Ads Manager when you're setting up your first ad. And then you don't have to worry about typing stuff into those little boxes and getting it all right. If you've already created all the text, you can edit it and do what you want with it there, and then just copy and paste and put it into your ad. So that covers the body of what you're going to include within your ad. In terms of objective, let's make these ads be seen by the maximum number of people within the audience that you choose possible. And that means the objective you're going to choose here is reach. You want to reach the maximum amount of people within your audience as you possibly can. Because what we're doing with these ads is we're just sharing value. We haven't got a call to action. We're not going to ask people to do anything. What we're doing is positioning you, sharing something of value. And if you like, it's the ultimate in content marketing, in letting people know that you exist by sharing you giving something without expecting anything in return. So it's a great way to start relationships, and it's a great way to go about starting to build your visibility on Facebook using Facebook ads. And it also makes for a very simple way of setting up your first ads. So choose the reach objective, encapsulate your answer to that question from your ideal customer or client over coffee in 2 or 3 paragraphs maximum. Choose a nice image that represents it, that doesn't contain any text at all, so you don't have to worry about Facebook image text rules or anything like that. Create your first ad. Decide what budget you want to run it with. So I'd suggest maybe running it out for 5 days for a budget of, say, £10–15 maximum. Set it up with a start date and an end date. Always set an end date. Otherwise Facebook carries on taking your money, even if you've forgotten to switch the ad off. And for everything else, just go with Facebook's default settings. So for placement, for bidding, for all that type of stuff, just go with Facebook's default settings and set your ad up. And I would suggest running 2 or 3 ads like this for 5 days each, not only to get yourself used to the Ads Manager platform, but also to start building that foundation on Facebook amongst an audience that won't have seen you before if you haven't been using Facebook ads. So you're starting to build a foundation of giving value, of being recognized as an expert, of letting people know what you do and what it is that you're about, but without selling anything. And then after you've run 2 or 3 of these ads, then maybe move over to running a website clicks or traffic ad. where you include a link within your ad, but you can keep to the same sort of structure, but you include a link and a call to action. So say you might take them across to your website to read a blog. Maybe you take them to a landing page where they can download a freebie that will help them in a way that is relevant to your business. Or maybe you take them to your website where there's a form that they can fill in to schedule a call, for example. So maybe use website clicks as your next ads once you've set that framework up, because website clicks or traffic ads have got a very similar structure to just those simple image and text ads that you would have already created. And then once you've started to really get the hang of Ads Manager and how it all fits together and how it works, then maybe you can think about using more complex formats, such as using slideshows or using carousel ads. The tendency is to jump into these things straight away without really understanding the fundamentals. So get to grips with the fundamentals first, see how it all works, and then you can start diving into the really shiny, exciting stuff if that's the way you see it. But those simple ads that you set up with a small budget will set your foundation, and they will probably start to drive a bit of business for you. So don't think that just because they're simple, just because they don't have a call to action, just because they're giving value rather than asking for anything, don't think that they are not adding to your business. They absolutely are. So I really hope that that's been helpful. If you've got any questions at all, then please don't hesitate to ask. I'd love to be able to help you to get your online marketing going, because I know just how intimidating and daunting it can be if you don't take it in these stepwise chunks. And if you've got any ideas for future videos, then please also let me know. I'd love to hear how your Facebook ads go when you set them up, so please also let me know about that. But until the next video, I'm going to sign off for now. So I'll say goodbye. Bye for now.